Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your time and jumping on this quick webinar. We're going to make this really helpful and useful and important and worth the next 20, 30 minutes because your time is valuable. And I'm actually really excited about this because I have not got a chance to speak to anyone from realtor.com before. If you've noticed, they have in recent times have done some rebranding as well as a huge marketing push. You'll see commercials and a lot of they're really out there trying to promote their brand, which doesn't need much promoting, but also is perfect timing because they do have a really impressive lead generation program that I wanted to introduce everyone to. But for the first 2 minutes, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Kale Realty, just in case you're on the call and aren't yet familiar with us. I can see a lot of our brokers are on the call, but there are some that are not our brokers. So please bear with me about a minute or two, and then I will turn it over to Christian from realtor.com, which is the reason that you're here today. But thank you. First of all, who am I? My name is DJ. That's me there. I'm going to just be a quick guide through this quick little introduction to Kale. We have been in business for quite some time, but I specifically have been talking to brokers, realtors, about what Kale Realty offers realtors and brokers for about the past 7 years. And we've grown a lot in that time. It's been actually pretty interesting for us and a lot of fun. But if you're not familiar with us, let me tell you just a quick little bit about us. At the end of the day, we believe that most firms really underpay their brokers, or certainly provide commission splits that we would deem to feel are, I don't know, I guess I would say even unfair is probably accurate, but certainly low. And we just think that, that is not the way business should be done in this industry. So we have our mission is to pay you what you're actually worth, and I'll explain that in a moment. But at the same time, to be a full-service brokerage firm, we have to also provide, paying great commissions is one thing until you need a whole bunch of support, training, technology, and if we're not there to provide that, brokers would leave, right? So it's really important that we are a full-service firm and not just providing high commissions. We have everything else too. But to get to the commissions really quickly, let's explain how that works. It's really simple. Every time one of our brokers does a sale, they get almost 100% of it back. We just take a $325 flat fee, and everything goes back to them. That's really simple. And that whether it's a $200,000 home or a $20 million home, we literally just take $325. If you end up doing rentals, some brokers do, some don't. We give away 80% back to the broker, and there's a little $15 fee on top of it. So we always say we pay almost 100% on sales and 80% on rentals. So that's pretty straightforward. And I wanted just to show you a really quick slide. This is very simple, but if you were a broker at Kale Realty and you sold a home at $350,000, 2.5% commission, you can see, on the different splits there, how much more income you'd get at a firm like ours. Because again, we only take $325, pretty straightforward there. We have a few other fees though, just to make sure it's all out there. Aside from the $325 and the 20% on rentals, we have a monthly fee of $49, which just pays for our stuff, right? Our technology, our tools, our trainers, our support team. We build your own website. We do kind of some cool stuff like that. It costs money, so the $49 pays for that. And we have an annual fee for errors and omissions, which covers all of your sales transactions, which is $199. And then that's literally it. There's no other fees, no surprises, that kind of thing. Lastly, or a couple final things, we're really proud of this. We don't like to brag, but I guess this is probably something I should mention, even though it makes me a little uncomfortable because we're just not those kind of people. But we have been, our own brokers acknowledged us as one of the top 100 firms in Chicago 3 of the last 4 years, and hopefully we'll do so again this year. And it's pretty exciting. We're actually in the top 10 of all either small businesses, or now we're in the mid-size category, and that's a bit every industry. I think we were number 2 or 3 or 4 last year, I forget. So again, it's just, hopefully indicative that we're doing something right, but who knows, right? Lastly, if you would ever like to speak to me about what we offer, I'd be honored to talk to you, unless you're a curse word to one of our brokers who you already have spoken to me. But you can reach me at joinkale.com, and I say reach me. You can schedule phone calls through that, face-to-face meetings, or you can always call or email me directly as well. dj@kalerealty.com gets to me, or there's my phone number. Okay, thank you for sitting through that, but that's not the reason you're here today. So we're going to turn this over to Christian. So I'm going to unmute him. So bear with me just a quick second. I'm going to introduce him. All right. So just to real quickly explain how this came to be, and real quickly, just a little bit about my background with respect to lead generation. So I came from, just before working in real estate, I was at a technology firm, and we were actually the largest lead provider in the country for health insurance leads. So if somebody was needing to buy health insurance, wasn't covered maybe by their employer, or wasn't working, or whatever, needed health insurance, we generated those similar leads to what something like realtor.com does, albeit a totally different industry, right? And I know 100% that online leads can and do work if they are worked correctly. Again, this was my previous career profession, so reaching out to realtor.com, one of the biggest players in the space, just made all the sense in the world. So I reached out to them, talked to Christian, who is about ready to present to you. Christian Valiando, he is a rep over at realtor.com. They're an excellent company. We think very highly of them, and he's going to tell you more about their program, how it works for brokers, and how you can participate. And just remember, along the way, if you have questions, type them in. I'll pass them over to Christian, and we will get them answered for you. So, Christian, can you say hello?
Absolutely. Hello again, everybody.
Okay, I am going to turn my mic off so you guys can hear Christian, and take it away.
All right. So I just wanted to give you guys a brief review and rundown of the program. I provided a 2-page PDF just kind of highlighting what I'm going to discuss, but I'll just kind of start out and walk you through the process of our lead program and what we offer and how we differ from some of the other companies out there as well. Okay? So we have a program, it's called Connections. It's providing a steady stream of buyers. They're already matched to a specific property that they're interested in, and then they're going to be expecting a phone call from a realtor or broker. So it's a more motivated lead. We don't provide any rental leads. They're only going to be residential, and we try to provide the last 5 homes and searches the person's done as well. So whatever we can do to give you as much information as possible, that's our goal. Now, in terms of what we consider a lead, we have a certain criteria for a lead, okay? And it's mandatory first and last name. Phone number is required. Then we try to verify the phone and the email address in real time. And we don't stop there. We even try to get information from like social media platforms as well, such as LinkedIn, to get info on age, income, education. Now, it's not going to be for every single lead that we're going to get the education or the age, but as much as possible, we're going to try to provide that information for you, okay? Now, we have 2 different ways that we sell our leads. So we have a shared platform where you and one other person are going to be competing for that lead. And then we have a program where it's called non-shared, and that the lead's going to you or one broker and only one broker. It's non-competitive. So if that's available, you could get the leads on a one-on-one basis. And that's called our flex option. Now, we have one formula for our lead volume, okay? And it's 40 to 48 leads over the year per spot, or an average of 4 leads per month, okay? Now, we could have up to 20 or 100 leads in a certain area. It just depends on if somebody's already taken that opportunity or not, okay? So it's going to be kind of limited just based on what other brokers have secured in terms of inventory, but I'd be happy to take a look at a later time if anybody's interested in some availability, okay? Now, as you can see, people go to realtor.com. They're going to match to a specific property that they want to purchase, like I mentioned. Then they're going to fill out that mandatory information, and the information is going to be routed to either one broker or 2 realtors and brokers, just depending on if you choose the shared option, which is called FAST, or the non-shared option, which is called the FLEX option. Okay? And that's basically how the program works. So it's going to give you these consumers that are ready to transact for the most part, looking to connect. But to touch on what DJ had to say a little bit earlier, you need to make sure you have the systems in place to follow up with these leads. So follow-up is definitely essential, and getting back to that person within that ideal 3 to 5 minutes is going to be key. Either if you choose the shared or the non-shared platform, yes, you'll have more flexibility on the non-competitive platform to get back to that person without somebody else reaching out to them. But the consumer could, not get that immediate gratification and end up going to another site like Zillow and filling out another lead form if you don't get right back to them. So I do want to stress how important the follow-up is with our leads. We even arm you with a system called 5 Street that's going to send an automatic text message that's customizable on your behalf to that lead if you can't physically respond in that ideal 3 to 5 minutes. So we give you that to kind of help you out, and we also provide you free coaching and training for you and also for your agents on a weekly basis. So every Monday, we have a webinar that's just going to go over the tips and tricks of our leads, how you can kind of best take advantage of them, and everything like that. So we're very hands-on here at realtor.com. We've been experiencing a huge growth in traffic, and I'm not sure if you guys have seen our commercials, but we've been doing a huge advertising campaign with Elizabeth Banks. So I'm sure, if you do watch TV, or if you ever buy a TV, that you might see our commercial, because we're definitely ramping it up, and we're starting to expand to a lot more networks as well. So that's basically the rundown of the program. It's going to vary the pricing based on the area and how many slots that we provide for you, but you're going to know almost to the T how many leads you're going to get. So a lot of the agents that I work with who've also done Zillow or currently do Zillow, they'll share with me that's one of their biggest pet peeves. They don't know really what they're going to get. They could get clicked on, but it's an impression system. Now, our system's a generic lead form, so we're not impression-based. It's not like you're going to be competing next to Susie, Wanda, and Nancy based on stars or past sales. You're going to either get the leads on a non-competitive basis like I discussed, the flex option, or you're going to get them shared, and that's with one other agent.
And I would like to jump in for just a quick moment, Christian, if it's okay. And so we have at Kale Realty 530, I think 31 or 32 brokers as of today. A good percentage of them have purchased leads in the past from companies like realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, and there's a lot of smaller players as well in the space, as most people will know. This is absolutely the truth. I've heard it over time and time again over the years. Many brokers have told me that realtor.com gives them the best bang for their buck as far as the value for the price. I'm not sure exactly why that is. I just know that I've heard that time and time again. And
to kind of speak to your point, that's definitely true. I hear it from a lot of my agents who do other companies out there, and we're experiencing on average about a 5 to 6% conversion ratio, which, as you guys know, the online lead average anywhere maybe 1-2% if you're lucky. With our program, we're now at about 5 to 6% on the average. So.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, because if it's 5%, then and you're getting roughly how many leads per month was it?
It's just across the board. So I would say you really need about 20 leads a month to kind of make it work fast. So about 200, 240 leads over the year.
Yeah. So if you're getting close to 20 leads a month, guys, that's one sale a month, and obviously at a firm like ours, you're going to be compensated pretty well for it. But I mean, who doesn't want one additional sale per month? And I would to piggyback on Christian's 5%. That's an incredible close ratio. I know it doesn't sound too exciting to go, well, there's 19 others that don't close, but and you might actually close more. But even that's great. 1 or 2% is good. So 5% is remarkable in the online lead generation business.
And again, it's not a pay-per-click, so these people are voluntarily filling out mandatory information and waiting for a realtor to contact them or a broker. And there's a big red button you'll see, I think it's even on that PDF, saying contact an agent. So it's really no mystery that they're expecting your phone call. Right on that lead form, do you see under how it works, that big red button says something like contact the agent or something like that. So it's pretty clear that they're submitting a lead form to an agent and they're waiting for them to contact them. They're not just clicking around seeing, if this is somebody famous's house or something like that.
And Christian, obviously pricing is going to vary based on, do you guys do it via zip code or different way to?
That's the closest we can or the most specific we can hone in on. So yes, we do it based on zip code. So I can check availability, whatever works for you guys. I'm looking at, a couple counties right now.
Right. So it has, one of the big questions is going to be what's the cost, but obviously you'd have to customize that per zip code. How do the terms work? Do people sign a year commitment? Is it, how does it work?
So we've moved towards year agreements because that's how we forecast the leads. So based on what I said earlier in terms of you're going to know what you're going to get almost to a T, we project the certain volume of leads that are going to be produced in that area over the course of a year. So you're going to know ballpark what you're going to get in terms of lead volume. But that's why we set it up for that time frame. And then you're billed on a monthly basis.
Gotcha. And by the way, guys, that's not uncommon. At the company I was at, which again, different industry, but lead generation similar, we had year-long commitments as well. And when when you commit to something like that for a year, and there's a significant outlay of capital along the way, it also increases probably your commitment to working those leads. That being said, the most important thing you can do, as Christian was saying, is first that initial hit, 3 to 5 minutes. And thankfully they have some, tools to even help do some of that for you to a degree. But, I think he brought up something very quickly that I wanted to touch base on, which is pulling information from social media platforms. So as that person fills out that form, they're pinging various databases. So I'm guessing Facebook, Twitter, at least, yeah. And then you're going to be able to take that information and, gives you more ammo when you're communicating with that person and making that inbound call. Not necessarily saying, hey, I just looked you up on Facebook, but you at least have the data to then be able to have them, if you're leaving a voicemail, you now have probably a little bit more information to leave a better, more personalized voicemail.
100%. And just to chime in one more time, the number one reason why our leads are set up for the 12-month term is because we're not impression-based. So we really have to forecast that. So that's really the reasoning behind the 12-month commitment.
And Christian, just out of curiosity, do you guys have an awareness of the average close time on a lead that does close?
It's about, I believe it's about 45 to 60 days with us, so it's pretty fast.
Yeah, and we all know that even if we had our best friend was buying a home in cash tomorrow, or rather putting an offer in tomorrow, that it probably wouldn't close for 30 or 45 days anyway. Right. So that's an incredibly fast lead time. And then how does the broker get notified that the lead has come in? Obviously, they're getting emailed. Are they also getting texted with that, or is it just email?
So a text and an email. We realize, I know I have probably 13,000 unread emails, so we provide it via text as well, so you can make sure you get it in real time and respond as fast as possible, or send it to the agent that's going to follow up with that lead.
Gotcha. So does anyone have? So basically, guys, for next steps, if you wanted to get more information from Christian about what this would actually cost, you can obviously reach out to him. Christian, what is the best way for someone to reach you?
You can reach me on my direct number. I can give you guys right now, or I could type it into the box, whatever works best.
Why don't you do both?
Okay, perfect. So it's 805-557-2530 is me directly. And I'm here all day. I typically, if I don't answer, if I'm on the phone, I'll call you right back if you leave a message. So you won't be waiting too long to get the information that you need from me, that's for sure.
Also, I just would like to point out that I ask our brokers constantly. At some point, it seems every broker considers whether to acquire leads in this capacity. And while I would never say it should be your only form of generating leads, it can be incredibly useful. And here's how I know it works, because I think, if I'm just off the top of my head, I know 3 of our very top agents, as far as the amount of production, they all buy leads. So it is not uncommon, and it's certainly something you should consider doing to gain, just finding that subset of the market that you wouldn't necessarily find through your other prospecting efforts, getting out there face-to-face meetings. This is a way to find people who you would not find that way. So just the sheer fact that we have many brokers who are part of lead programs like this should probably indicate that they work pretty well, or at least well enough for many of our brokers to use them. So if you haven't, think of it as a business expense, a marketing expense. And any other questions for Christian along the way. And what I'll do, by the way, is I'll have Christian I can send everyone's email to Christian, and he can follow up with you as well directly. But does anyone have any questions while we've got him on the phone? Okay, everyone. Well, we appreciate your time. Kept it short and sweet. And please consider, reaching out to realtor.com, at least getting a quote, seeing how that would work for you. And I'll be producing this as a recording, which we can re-listen to, and I'll be sending this out in the next day or two, so you can watch it if you had to step away or just wanted to revisit. Christian, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
And thank you, guys. I look forward to connecting with you guys. You see my bottom email, the christian.lastname@realtor.com, or the phone number. Definitely reach out to me. I'll be happy to help and give you a quote and answer any questions that you guys have, okay?
Yes, and to James, who just asked about pricing, you'll have to reach out to Christian, and it varies drastically by zip code and other factors. So he will be able to give you a quick quote. So we'll get his information to you. It's right there above your comment. And then Derek, his phone number is 805-557-2530. And guys, we'll make sure that you'll get his information as well via email. So thank you so much for your time, Christian.
Because you referred them, so. Absolutely. You're in good hands. I'll look forward to connecting with you guys. Have a great day.
All right, guys. Thank you.